Fox 23 weekend anchor Rick Marinon is live from the federal courthouse here in downtown Tulsa with why the group, Rick, says they're suing judges from the state of Washington right here in Green Country.
And we should mention those judges have not had a chance to see what is being accused against them. They went home for the holiday. We are not going to name them specifically as a courtesy to them because they don't know what they have been accused of. But the person you're about to hear from started what is going to be a 40-city tour, 40-state tour, and then he's going to make his way to the Supreme Court while filing what he says is going to be a historic case here in Tulsa. A civil rights group has selected the federal court of the Northern District of Oklahoma in Tulsa to begin what they say could be a landmark civil rights case.
We need to decide as a people, do we believe in what it is that we say we believe in? Do we believe in the Constitution of the United States? Is that the truth? And if it is, then we know the path that we're going to have to take to remedy this situation.
Attorney Tanawah Downing and his team announced they are suing the state of Washington in Oklahoma, hoping that in the future, everyone arrested for a major crime will first have to have their case heard before a grand jury, before any other legal proceedings can begin. The case also requests the indictment and arrest of 2 Washington state federal judges who have heard cases that have not gone before grand juries. Downing says there are states like Washington that ignore this step that you are entitled to.
We've got news across the country right now. They're talking about indictments by a grand jury, but they're talking about it for one man, the former President Trump. But what we're not talking about, and what we need to start talking about, is the fact that there's 600,000 people across the United States of America today that are imprisoned that never received an indictment by a grand jury, despite the fact that that is a constitutional right that they have.
But Downing also said Oklahoma doesn't give people their right to a grand jury either. They chose to file the lawsuit here because they have no faith the state of Washington will give an unbiased look at how it's handled criminal cases for decades. Because this is at the federal level and could make its way to the U.S. Supreme Court, a ruling against Washington state has the power to change the entire nation.
We're going to start here in Tulsa because Tulsa doesn't have the same biases and prejudices that the state of Washington would have in obtaining these initial indictments against these judges.
Downing says between now and January, he will be going to 40 different states to try to make as many people aware their rights are not being fully exercised when they are arrested in many states. Something he says has landed thousands of people in prisons across the country because their case has not been given proper due process. Again, we are not naming those 2 judges. They have not seen the allegations against them. Court actually closed early today before they could actually get the paperwork filed. They're going to have to wait till it reopens after the Thanksgiving holiday. But for now, we are going to choose to give those judges some time to process and see if they want to respond, if they want to respond at all to what is being said here. Live in Tulsa, covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marinon, Fox 23 News.